And we're on. We are live. I'm going to turn this music down. I just was hitting it with my friends, asking him whether the volume's alright. And he said it's a bit loud and distracting. But do tell me in the chat if it's a bit too distracting, and I'll play around with the volumes. But welcome to, I don't know, I think we're on the 4th week? 5th week? I've lost count now, of us working on a Wednesday. Working Wednesday, let's call it that. That sounds pretty awesome. So today we have a big day. I have a lot of things on my list, such as refactoring. I want to sort out some hosting and see if we can get some automatic deployment by the end of the day. As you may have known with some of my streams on Wednesdays, I work on Soulection Tracklists version 4. I'm working on getting this release out by New Year's, or at latest by episode 500, which is scheduled for around March. So instead of like me ranting on about what we're going to be doing, I'm going to get right on into it. Let's press this button and we should see my screen. Awesome. As you can see right below my camera right now, we can see a checklist of things. So if you ever like dipping in and out or seeing where I'm up to, you'll be able to see the progress of the stream. Well, it helps me later on when I'm editing as well. So my main thing I wanted to kind of work on today is something a bit juicy, is the SoundCloud link. The link which we have on screen when we play a show is... I don't know whether it's going to work in actual deployment. So when we go to a particular show like this one, there's a play show button right here, and it should play the show at the bottom. And this works great in development, but I don't know whether it's going to work in the cloud. So I want to make sure that works in the cloud. I'm going to isolate that into a simple function. So then I can just call out to it from my development application and cloud. But I have a feeling like, because it's doing something a bit round the edgy of SoundCloud, I don't know whether that might break over time. But let's give it a try anyway. So we're going to jump right into it. And hello to everyone who's joined me on stream. It's great to see you. I hope you're having a great Wednesday. Let's get to it. So we have the script here, which is SoundCloud. It's just like a express server function wrapper. It's called to it, and we parse through it. We go and grab the permalink which we're given, which is this full SoundCloud link. We want to grab some information about that show, about that particular audio file, and that's redundant. Then we grab that SoundCloud from the permalink, and we've kind of got this secondary application which we kind of booting up, which I'll show in a second. And we grab all the details and we just malform it back to the client side to give us some information to start playing an audio file. The SoundCloud client is a puppeteer, so it's just like a browser. It opens up as a headless. We have it so that we pass in the permalink, so it's the audio track. It'll launch browser in iPhone 13, which is a mobile version. So we use some old APIs. It's one way how I'm doing it. So SoundCloud, if you're listening, hire me. And we do that just to grab the client ID, because this client ID will give us access to other things. We can use our own client ID. But this might roll over time. So I want to make this like as isolated cloud function. So let's go ahead and do that. It's in Nuxt at the moment and it works okay. And let's see, we have it hooked up right here, so it's just a GET request locally. But I'm going to make it more external. And I've forgotten how I'm going to do that actually. I'm going to create a new folder on the side called functions. I think that might be a good start, and I'm going to open up a new dev console on the side. We're going to go into that functions. I've done this on another project, so I'm a bit rehearsed with it. We got to do, I think we have yarn. Are we using yarn in this? Yeah, no, we're using npm. So npm init y, which is going to just splatters a functions, because as much as I could have booted up the whole Nuxt program, I didn't want all those dependencies coming in to play on just a cloud function because it's a bit too much. So now we've got isolated functions here. I'm going to create a new file, just give it a bit of testing. So we're going to call it SoundCloud and function.js. I'm going to look over to my other application just because it's some reference material I can kind of spin up very quickly and reference back to it and how Firebase it works. So with Firebase, we export each of the functions we want to do. So exports, and it's going to be sound cloud data, I think. How do we call it on here? We call it over right here, permalink, and we just get the SoundCloud data. So yeah, I think that works. SoundCloud data, and this is going to be calling out to the functions. So we need to bring the const functions is a requirement from Firebase functions. Base functions. Told you we'd get straight into it. No messing about today. So we've got the functions, and that's a Firestore. Don't want to deal with a Firestore. Oh, I'm gonna have to look at another project. Let's see. I've got 3 projects which use Firebase, which I've been playing around with. Let's open up another project on the side see where I've done it. Nope, that's not right. I got another. Third project, a charm, if we can find it. Functions, yeah, there we go. Just saves me having to go over to the documentation and figure out how all this works. Gives me a little bit of a clue, and it's not going to be the function. It is going to be the functions, yeah. How have I done it on this one?
That's right.
Bear with me 1 second. How are you all doing anyway tonight? It's been a weird one. It's Poppy Day. Happy Poppy Day for everyone. It's remembrance for all the fallen and lost peoples who probably not doing this justice. All the people who fought during World War One from the Commonwealth, and today is a remembrance of that, of the ultimate sacrifice. And yeah, I went out and did some photographs tonight. I shared it with some friends. Found that's actually just down the road from where I am is a poppy field, and what happens? The reason why like poppy is known as the kind of symbol for this time is when the earth is spun up, poppy seeds are brought to near to the surface, and this is the time when they come on out. And it's interesting, whenever you see a bit of land which has been just dug up and just left, poppies usually happen, and that's probably why I kind of guess it's why the poppy is an international symbol for this time. So now I've got on the side here, me rambling on, is some information of how I can do this. So we want to do a HTTPS call, and it's on a request. On request, let's try that. It needs to be a capital R there. That's the API, it works. And we can do a function within here. We have our simple request details and response details in here. And so this is just like your normal express cat-like function. And within here, we're going to perform what we were trying to do, but I want to do like a kind of simple test. So res and I think with hello world or send, and I'll save it like that because I want to try and deploy this and see if it works okay. That's not going to deploy straight away because I don't think I got Firebase installed. Firebase doesn't even know about this folder. Firebase deploy only functions. I don't think I set it up. Yeah, there is none. So let's go over to our application. and see how I set. I think it's docs. There's like a step way you can go through it to set it up, and I've forgotten off the top of my head. Firebase of functions. There we are. Functions. Guides. It would be helpful on the guide. Let's go over to web guides. I just want like very easy, quick getting started. CDN modules from Node. This isn't going too good, is it? Where? Add Firebase to server. No? App? Web. I want a back-end detail on how to get it set up. Oh well, I'll look at the project which already has that detail, and I will create a new file. So, new file which is a JSON object, and we got functions in here. Functions. We'll do that. We'll save this as firebase.json. I'm going to do it in the root of the entirety of the project. So then we can add more details about hosting, and that's where we have on right just below me the details about what we're going to be doing today, and one of those is hosting. So we want source functions. I guess that will work. Will it try and deploy now? Right. Okay. So there's another file we need to set up, which is the Firebase RC. It's a new file. It's another JSON document, and it's projects. Let's go. I need to change this. I think I'm gonna go for focus beats. More chilled. I was listening to some of a epidemic playlist. I think it's a bit too active. I'm gonna calm it down a little. And our default project is Soulection Tracklists. That's what I'm deploying to, and I want to save this as a .firebase RC. Yes, I want to use a dot. Cool. Let's see how that goes. There might be a file which I need to transfer into this document or not. Cool. That's giving me some interesting information. Seems I've not been able to get to the right documentation. It wants an index.js, and in here it wants this exports. So I'm gonna just copy that to here. What we'll do is that SoundCloud functions, I'll have it imported as a class, maybe. Have a look over here. Yeah, on this one, I want to module exports, and we're going to do it on SoundCloud. Like the yeah. Getting told on Discord the volumes are a bit much. I haven't got Discord open on this computer, so it only comes up as a little notification, thus having to lean on in. Right, got that on SoundCloud. I'll just call it that. And I've done it on the wrong way. Want it over here. Export that. And on this one we looks over to my source data. The const on sound cloud. I want to grab that from require SoundCloud function. Sports on SoundCloud equals on SoundCloud. Boom. Let's give that a try in a deployment. Runtime. We want a Node.js 10. Add this to the following lines on your functions in your Firebase JSON. So it wants us to add in run npm install, npm install. Of course. Well, of course, I haven't said that this inner project contains that. So npm install save and add that in. I think that's the only thing I need to add into this project. Maybe just for now. Let's see if we can get that to deploy. The thing about Firebase, you can deploy from your local machine. You don't need to set up a cloud service. It'll just take your files from local. So you don't need to push it to a repository for that to work. What have we got here? So deploying to your project, you found any project doesn't exist in your local code. Are you renaming a function? It's recommended to create a new. Would you like to proceed with the deletion? Select no, we'll continue the rest of the deployments. I don't want to delete. So I'm going to cancel that. There's a way in how I can isolate that, and I just want to deploy the one function, which is using colon on SoundCloud. And it should directly only deploy that one function. Fingers crossed. Crossing those fingers. Cool. It's going to go to the default central one repository. That's okay, because I have a few functions which are located here in Europe for my own administration tasks, and for it to be closer to me is ideal. But the majority of the clients and customers or viewers are based over in the United States, so it's ideal for the function to be over there. It'd be great if I had a load balancer which had the function working on on different DNSs around the world. But I don't know how that's properly set up. I'll have a look into that at one time, but not today. Taking a little bit of time to deploy that. While it's doing that, let's have a little think of this function, because we have... Oh! Spoke too soon. Deployment error. Function failed on loading user codes. Please examine all logs. Additional troubleshooting, you may run... That was a failure. I don't want that. So let's see if we get any information on our logs. Cloud console. It might be complaining about some missing no module. And so look. So it's gonna be well busy with how do I isolate the function? That one. There we go. And I don't want that. Can I close this side as well? Yes. More real estate. Module not loaded. Did you list all the required modules in the dependencies? Can't load Firebase admin. There we go. Found out what we're missing. So I'm going to npm install save Firebase admin. Don't even think we really need that, do we? I guess we'll just copy this straight into there and assume that it needs that to load up. And give it another whirl. Let's go for it. What I'm gonna do, there's a way how you can make the bundle size small for the Firebase function, which is recommended. You just tell it to ignore some files. And I got a list here. Ignore everything but what we want it to. So, ignore everything. Probably a bit too harsh, that, actually. Let's cancel that one out. No modules, you don't need those, I think. We don't need them locally. I think I'll roll with that for now. And as I was dealing with the deployment down there, we're looking at this function, and we want to bring in these APIs. So this is basically that same function. Copy this over there, bring this down neatly. You'll see that it's using the same sort of API, but I only want to bring over only the parts which I need. Probably don't need the crypto. Let's have a follow through. I think this crypto stuff was for me when I was working on a train. I wanted it to download the file the external request once, and then I could keep working on it without the internet dying on me. But we'll selectively copy across the parts which we want. Do that and let data. Oh, we need to change this to a sync function. What's in here? Sync there. And we've got to grab the transcodings. And for each of those transcodings, we're going to call the Axios to request that to then grab that with the client ID. And then we should be able to bring that detail back to that data and send it. So that's what we want. We'll need to import. Don't know whether we can actually use import here. I'm going to use like the older format for now. Const Axios equals require Axios. And npm install. Oh, is it deployed? Yes! Deployment complete! Nice. So we should be able to open this. And you give us some analytics about those functions. Go into that function. And where is it? There it is. There's our function. Grab this. Open up in browser. Hello world. Awesome. So we are successful in deploying that. Brill. Don't need this console log. A permalink is one thing. First of all, we need to npm install save Axios. Bring that in. And what else? We had permalink which we need to grab from the URI. So it's probably something along these. Grab the request headers host, pause parsed URL, because we've got the URL here, we're grabbing a permalink from the URL. If it doesn't exist, we're going to end early. And I think we'll always send back a JSON response, which is success false. In that case. Oh, it wants spaces around it, that's why. There we go. Otherwise, our response is going to be a good one, 200. Now we've got this SoundCloud, which is our input. So I'm going to, don't need to copy and paste this. I think it might be mostly okay. Maybe Puppeteer needs rewriting. I'm going to copy all this code without having to deal with the API change for now. I'm going to bring it in here, which is the SoundCloud client. I'm going to put it as client. Go on, client. There we go. And we're going to const SoundCloud equals require SoundCloud client. It might work because it is using version 10. I can even tell it to use version 12. Might be even better for us. But I'm gonna give that a try. Yeah, I'll give it a try. We need to install Puppeteer as well. npm install save Puppeteer. And we should have everything working. I did import the right one. I can close that down. I can close this one. Yeah, I can close that one down. Now we're isolated to this. Do I have any console logs, anything out in here which... No, that's nice and clean actually. So open up a browser, go into incognito mode, open up a new page or tab, disable the cache, set the user agent, and then we'll set up a promise because we want to load the page and we want to wait for the page to load. So where is it? We have this page go to, and we passed in the permalink, and we're going to wait until network idle too. So when there's nothing else on the network channel, we can then continue on. But while we're going to that page, this previous promise, we're analyzing every single request which is coming through, and we're looking for a request which matches API Mobi SoundCloud, which is a resolve. And from this, we'd be able to get the key which we need and pass that back with this resolve here. And then we close the browser and we're good. So I should be able to deploy that. Fingers crossed. I can give it a SoundCloud link and it will work. Or it not work. Can't use import statement. I was expecting that actually. Maybe I can use version 12 of Node. Give this a try. No, doesn't like that. Okay, that's fine. Const Puppeteer equals require Puppeteer. Boom. Give that a try. Oh yeah, and it wants this exports module SoundCloud equals sync function. I think that's how you write it. Oh, it's written here. concept property, SoundCloud client, line 5. Exports default. Need to Google this one. Nodes 10 export default. Having to exports default. Let's go for that. I probably could have written a unit test for this. Test it all locally and might even do that. I'll add on to the... Move this up a little tiny bit. Yep. Unit test sound loud function. That's a stretch goal for today. Why am I not writing unit tests at the start? Well, I want to make this entertaining. I want to get quick results and show you guys of something. And it would have taken me a little bit of while. English. It would have taken me some time to get that set up. It's doable, but it would have added on about, I don't know, half an hour. I want to see if it's possible too. As a spike, but yeah, it'd be right to write unit tests. And in my normal work, yeah, I do take the extra time. But in this, I'm talking to you guys. We're hanging out. We want to see quicker results and listen to awesome music. The next time I call this, it's going to trigger a failure on me because it's not going to have the permalink, and that's what I expect it to have. I want it to have a 400 error. I might need to open up post hopscotch. That's what it is. It's renamed from Postwoman to hopscotch. So Postman was a version of that in order to kind of test this properly. What I think it's doing is it's updating Node 12 function. Oh yeah, we changed the runtime, didn't we? It's ideal to use the latest runtime, so fine. And I'm paying for it, so it's equally fine. That off. Thanks. How's your day been? Mine's been busy. Loads of calls with many different people. That's mostly it. There's just calls with recruiters and my loving partner. Went out for a run this morning. That's cool. Didn't do a great time though. My 5k is still at half an hour or thereabouts. I want to get it quicker, but most times I just can't really be. I can't get past that initial kind of state. I'm running. I know I got a little bit more in the tank, but I don't really want to continue pushing myself harder, bring my heart rate above 150, 160. But at least I got out. I did something for half an hour. Very important during these times to continue exercising. That's deployed now. I hit refresh. We should have a 400 error. No? Or not? Have we deployed it to a completely different function? Let's try again. Couldn't handle request. That's what I was expecting. Well, somewhere around that. Hopscotch. And I was playing around with some music brains earlier this week. Last week. Want to close that off. Get rid of all these. Oh yeah, do sponsor that. I'll do that. It's easy. That's my old card. I was putting a new card. But yeah, do try and support Oh, we got 500 error. Do try and support open source projects and projects used quite often. People put in a lot of time and effort into making a great product for people free to use. And if you're in a position that you've been in the industry and working and earning, it's great to give back to the community. You get that nice, warm, fuzzy feeling inside. No one can take that away from you. This image transform is interesting because this is live images. So when we digress a little bit, I don't know whether you Firebase, whether you remember me going on about another stream with these images. If I open up this goes through that function and that would appear as one here. And now that when I refresh that, it instantly loads because we've loaded it into the local cache. And what's happened here is people are actually on my production site navigating around and enjoying it or scraping the data from it, one or the other. And these are requests. It's taken half a second. I want to improve that at some point. But that's great to see live data coming through. I want to limit this down to SoundCloud. Come on. Oh. There we go. I probably could have used the other logger. Probably the same. One query. It's actually a bit quicker, that. Invalid chunk. Got a crash. Unhandled rejection on SoundCloud function line 12. Line 12? Oh, yeah, that's of course. Did I need to change that to a send instead? And I don't know whether I need to put end. I guess. Because I'm not sending any more data, it should end like that. So that's followed the right route. And if I add in a new parameter now, which is permalink, and go and find a SoundCloud link. What track are we currently playing? I can Dusty Decks. Let's go on SoundCloud.com. Dusty. Oh, it's changed. Gustav. I'll make Gustav. Oscillation. And we navigate to this. Grab that, and if I pass this into there, the query, we should have a 200 or 500, even better. Well, not even better. Why is that? Why have you got these for 500? You got into a different route, so you failed there. Does it go? Ah, okay. Here we go. Is that our latest call? Are we deploying it? Is that why it failed out? Yeah. It shouldn't have failed out. It's a shame. I wouldn't expect Google Functions to fail out like that, unless I'm not seeing something properly here. Jump to now. Oh yeah, we got to line 18 actually. We got to a different route. So we went to here. Bring this down. And I guess it went in. Where do we? Just rejected. It just failed itself out. Oh, SoundCloud is not a function. It should be a function. SoundCloud client. Now, in order to instead of deploy that, I'm going to serve. I'm going to test it locally now. Bit easier. Follow this. I think that one little change there which we've got fixed it. 404 not found. I wasn't expecting a 404. Maybe. Copy that, bring it out, and we should get the 4. Let's try over here. Permalink equals this. SoundCloud is not a function. Okay, we got somewhere better. I wanted to be a function. It stumped me because I've converted it from a like ES 2007 to previous, and I've forgotten. Been that long. Maybe I had to put module exports like that. And do I have to restart the server each time I make a change like that? Your function was killed. Raise error. SoundCloud is not a function. Can I do that? Please, please work. It worked! That worked! I wanted it wrapping because I wasn't exporting default. Silly me. Exports default? Can I do like this? Okay, don't. I got a working version. Let's go with that. And I'm gonna close my locals thing. Go deploy the code. So it works. Once we deploy it, it will work quicker than I expect it to as well on the server. Where did we get to? So we're gonna look at our deployment. Why do you take so long? Probably because it uploads the modules. I think when you go on to the function viewer, you can actually see all of its usage and stuff. How, like, what all of its files it's put up, and that putting in ignores will help you reduce down the amount of source data. Doesn't need everything. So runtime index. Oh, I don't know whether I need that. Do I need that? Probably does. And Cloudinary. That's interesting. I didn't think it would use Cloudinary. Oh. Just realised something. Yeah, I just realised I had an environment variable in there, and it was up on screen. So I'm just going to fix that. And that's read. Oh, there we go. Create a new token. Such the hazard. I might actually be lucky. That particular code bear with me 1 second. I think that token isn't even One second while I go through some of my functions. I know that there's one function which I think uses that, and it has it might have a concern with just one of this project's I'm just trying to find where that key is. Just so I can roll that key. View bucket is okay. You're still wondering why it's still up. I'm still trying to find where that particular variable is being ingested into the application, and figure out which of the many keys it says. Otherwise, I'll just cancel them all. Oh yeah, I can see here that I'm talking. Yeah, I can delete. I'll just revoke them for now, and I'll deal with the repercussions later on when we get back to the stream. Oop. Yep, that happened. So that key is no longer viable. Ah. Just realised something else in that keys. You can show a close of certain programs before I come back on. And yeah, I think I'm good now. I'm good now. There we go. Back to things. That's embarrassing. It happens. So what happened then is I exposed a key and then I accidentally exposed some more keys. So I just had to cancel off the keys for my applications, but fortunately none of those are used repetitively all the time. I can fix them or reactivate them when I try and redeploy. It happens. And let's get back to testing where my code was doing. It was on central 1. This should give me a success false, and if I add in permalink equals this, and I want to grab this file, enter that. Takes a second or so. Should be much quicker than this. Go on. Was not expecting it to take that long. Takes a fraction of a second in the local. Alpha, maybe. Let's have a look. See. I'm sure I added enough memory to it. Select this, unselect that, and go with that. Could not handle request. Timeout. But why? That's very interesting. We hit a timeout on our program. And we have our hard timeout here set on it. So we know we're getting into this part of the program because it is lengthy, but I wasn't expecting it to trigger a timeout soon. And we hit a 1 minute timeout, so this didn't even trigger in. So I'm going to have to wrap this with a whole bunch of debugging, so that when I deploy it, I have a bunch of information about it. So console debug, launching browser. Could be the case that it doesn't load the browser properly. Loading page. Waiting for response. Waiting for HR. At that point, we should have found something. Found XHR. So if I deploy this again now, or save myself from having to deploy, could probably put those that directly into the code on the function. So jump into source, jump into that. Yeah. Don't know whether making changes really... Oh, you can't make changes. It is as it is. So I have to deploy. No problem. So what I'm wanting is when we go through the logs of this particular function, it to give us pinpoints of what's happening through that. At the moment, it's just telling us it started and then it timed out. And as always, it takes a few minutes for it to update. Don't understand why. Firebase takes time to deploy function. Surely someone's answered that since 2017. What was the conclusion? Thanks for filling. This is back when it was maybe not Google owned. We're not including the those source files, so we should be fine. What we got is all that. Nothing too crazy. Could not be ignored when copying source and then do ANPM or Day 19, Firebase still deploying Crab's popcorn. Love that. Oh. Default. No. Ha! maybe if I switch it around to only include .js and those two. Oh, that wasn't solid API. Use globs. So you still use the exclude API endpoint, but it's excluding anything in lib or any JS file I have in my directory. So I only have a couple files I want to upload. It is true, Firebase sometimes, maybe often, to stuck at performance. It's really slow, but you should support Rust or either Go. It's much faster than Node. Yes, yeah, I see that point, but I don't have the full knowledge to rework this puppeteer into a Go function. Refresh that. Follow the logs. Where? I've lost myself. Where am I? Logs. Jump to now. I've got many different places where the logs are going. I think this logging is a bit better. So I can close that. So we updated the function. That is... Does it automatically follow, or do I need to refresh the page to... I probably need to refresh the page to see that. Oh, it's still taking time. But we should know the steps it should have taken by now. Okay, good start. Good start. Launch in browser. So we got to here, and it's not even got to here. So we're still stuck awaiting for that browser. So I have a feeling Puppeteer Google Cloud Functions. Maybe there's something we need to set on our environment. Let's go for the very first. Yeah. Yeah. No sounds. Maybe give it some more memory. How much memory did I give it? Yeah, that's very, very small. Oh, my request transfer has more. I've forgotten how to do it. I'm looking at another code base where I might have already done it. Save me some time of googling that. That one. No. Ah, there we go. So on request, we want to pop it there. So we have a long timeout. So I don't really want it to time out that long, and we set it a a 2 GB memory because it's browser at the end of the day. And we deployed that. Don't even think on here I can change. Can I? Oh, edit. Can I edit it? Yes, you can. Can I edit it? Yes, you can. And it's gone. Was it that easy? Oh, that's gonna. I've already started deployment. Let's wait for it to deploy. Maybe this will test out our new policy of what it includes. Still slow as. Who does that? Let's set one. This is a new one which is going up right now. Come on, finish. Holding out for y'all. Hello. I believe someone's tuned in and wondering what the hell is going on. We are trying to refactor SoundCloud's player function. You can see what I'm doing in the bottom corner. We got a bit stuck with the deployment on making it work, but we're mostly there. We had a few hiccups along the way, but we're in a better state. And if this works on the Google Cloud functions, then I can refactor out some of the code in a Nuxt program. That's the hope. That's deployed. I can go over to the logs. And I should. Which logs do I want to see at? Keep jumping between the two. Launch in browser. Good. And then what should right? Okay, let's launch it locally with the serve. Oh, is it because I'm using proxy on this? That's probably is. Disable proxy. Damn you! This is local, and I should see exactly this. Launch in browser, waiting for XHR, loading page, found XHR, finished within 3 seconds, and this is what I should be seeing within a matter of seconds, and it's not. Let's go back to our Google searches. Someone else must have fallen into like Puppeteer not working. This guy again? Oh no. Has Medium changed its logo? I did not expect that. I don't like it. I don't like it. Am I the only one who doesn't like that logo? I don't like it. Okay, yes, yes. Okay, yeah, okay, and... Okay, let's, we can see a whole bunch of options there. So maybe let's try that. Headless true. And all of that. Let's bring that up properly. Hi Chuck Sutton. Yeah, I've been working solely on Soulection Tracklists since 2016, and I'm working on the newer version. Let's give you a little sneak preview. Can it work? Yeah. This is what it may look like with a player in browser, and we're pretty happy with it. And we're aiming for it to be released by New Year's or episode 500. I'm solely working on this. This is I'm not paid by Soulection at all to do this. Just a bit of fun I do on the side. Thanks for stopping by. What I was doing. Oh, here we go. Failed to launch browser. Navigation timeout when remote triggered. There might be a whole bunch of these. I know if there's a lot of things I don't understand. I know the no sandbox one, and maybe disable GPU. Let's go with that. Let's see if we get. So we got something. Was it the sandbox? Could slowly start introducing some of these flags, and it didn't like the GPU. Oh yeah, it likes the GPU. And the timeout. Timeout was where it's. Maybe I don't need a timeout. I can disable everything. Oops. Everything else. Let's see. Most of my teen years have been spent frantically checking the site, see if it's got a new episode. It's super awesome. Thanks, man. There is a newsletter on the site. So on Soulection Tracklists, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, throw your email into that, and when the new episode goes live, when it's pushed live, you get email the second it goes live. Each episode goes live from onto SoundCloud on Fridays around 3 or 4 o'clock UK time. I don't know what that is in the United States. And it is dependent on that. And I have a process which checks that SoundCloud release. And once that goes live, it redeploys the site and uploads the new episodes, which I do during a week. The episode 481 is currently. I've not yet done the track list for that, but that has been aired on Beats One. So the website lags behind 1 week or 5 days since the last release. But then I get it set up so then when you go into it, it should have the 2 links ready for SoundCloud. Because I know that a lot of the audience listen on SoundCloud. They may not have Apple Music, but each week we listen to it live in the Discord. So do check that out too. Yeah, there's a link. There's a mail box right at the bottom, and you should get the episode when it's uploaded. And I still do that every single week. It takes a couple hours. Oh, it said a miss. Ah, yeah. Let's see my friends. Cheers, man. I don't get anything from that. It's all automatic, so I don't use those emails to send you any bad stuff. It's all for the site, and I try and keep the site as simple as possible. I'm considering like the search bar is simple because like still want to keep it free, but I might change that out soon and remove all of the tracking stuff. But yeah, it's keeps me happy. And last month we had like 10,000 people stopping by the site, which is nuts, and people like support on Patreon and buy me a coffee each every so often, which is even amazing. Like how people are like appreciate this data. So yeah, I get a great deal of happiness from that. Target closed. I broke it again. Is it? I'm really hoping that it's not the case that once function, once it's like gone past its sell by date, this particular function, that it's closed itself off. Connection closed. Ugh. We got which ones of these GPU definitely work. I don't even know what most of these flags are hitting at. Runtime, nodes, go Python, user agent. Maybe set a viewport size as well. We would have a default one. Useful. Some of them are pretty explicit, like GPU, no sandbox to prevent crashes, and on some environments, complete argument lists found here. Prefetch. Oh, that's a lot. That's a big list. I'm not going to go through each one of those. And go with what our guy there has suggested, and save it as that. I can add some of these in later, and I want to redeploy that to our cloud instance. Yeah, it takes a little while for it to deploy to the cloud instance. Then I should be able to hit refresh on this. Probably gonna. This is using the old one, is it? Probably is. Hurry up and deploy, damn you! Hurry up! Where are you tuned in from, Chuck? Are you based here in the UK or coming in from the United States? I'm sure I've seen you swing on Pi. I'm pretty sure your name has popped up somewhere on Soulection. Are you already are you a subscriber on Patreon, or have you submitted a suggestion request to improve the data, which I disabled after a while ago because I used to have this feature on the site. Give some context, where you could suggest a change. Say if you found a particular file which was missing, or the typo. You could suggest a change, but I got so many of them. It became quite a daunting task to get through them. I couldn't get through them quick enough, so I switched it off for a while. And it seems I'm working on version 4. I want to reintroduce community support like that because I really appreciate that. Say if I got the wrong SoundCloud link or someone's found the Amazon Music link, which is ideal. Community support is a massive thing, and I want to bring that back in version 4. But for this year, it just became overwhelming because I got a whole bunch through each week, and it wasn't as easy as just going to like a database and make a change. It was there's not 10,000. There is tens of thousands. It's about 19,000 individual tracks. 14,000 of them were unique. So having to go through this on the hard drive to find the right track and stuff like that and fix it is quite a task. So I need to program a better way to do that. Hopefully that little rant there has deployed our code and I can hit the refresh. Let's open up a new tab over here. And is that our latest one? Nope, not our latest one. Maybe this one. Better. New logs. Bring those new logs in. Oh, it did a thing. It did the thing. It did the thing. It did the thing slow, but it did the thing. I kind of thought that would become a slow problem. Like, if I bring this over to here, I've got this sound cloud. Oh, yes, enable the proxy. Oop. Pull that request through, and yes, it worked. It took 5 seconds to do it. And we get all this beautiful data from SoundCloud, and the thing which we went and added on was this. And this. This was the important one. If we grab this long string, bring it over to our browser, and poof it, we have a playable file. And that took some while. So I have a potential workaround for that. And I think oh, someone else is playing somewhere else.
Eclectic soul.
I don't even know where it's coming from. Oh right, yeah, it'll be this tab here. It reacted to my my play button. I might be lucky that they match. And do they match on my local host? They do. And that's what takes most time. So I have a workaround. So if you've been following for a while, this SoundCloud client, all it does is it grabs a lot more actually. Grabs that the other day. It does two things, I think. Client data. I might be able to simplify this down just a wee bit. Because, can I open up a new tab? Oh, I can. Sweet. Go to resolve, and I think you... I already added some... I think with resolve, you can pass in a permalink, if I remember right. I'll be a post. No, but I think it's a post. And yeah, that's a 401. If we add in the, forget if it's client underscore ID, this, for no. How about in this one? Client ID. Don't know whether it's a post or get. Oh. Ultimately, that resolve comes back with a good chunk of data. The response JSON. And we've just enhanced the data. I might be able to get around that with a different refactor of that. Well, I want to check off that. So we have it working. It's not performant, but we have a version working. So, boop, 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 and let's go over to here. We can change this to our cloud function version. And our local page should still continue to work. Even though we have that 5-second delay. And the reason why I wanted to refactor that earlier on is this page gets built and it will embed all that data, and I think it might be okay only for a few minutes and then it falls over. And that's why I wanted to refactor it. Let me have a little think. Kind of want it on client side. Boop, boop. Where we get that? Play episode. I'm going to bring that outside of the async data and bring it into a mounted. And it's going to have a async method to it. Wait. Axios. We have this dot Axios. Oh yeah, nice. Get. I'm going to bring this data in after the page is loaded. I've lost place. Link there. And permalink. Oh wait, I can just do this. Params. Permalink. I link on the page. Do you have this dot page? New page. What am I returning? Yeah, we've got this dot page dot SoundCloud. Probably need to refactor this file as well. It's getting a bit gnarly and long. Yeah, I mounted this up page up SoundCloud. Then response will be data. And this dot SoundCloud data equals this response data. Then I can get rid of this little bit of a slowdown on a page load. But just for now, comment that out. And go down here again. Where are we? We're on the mounted. Picked up that. This up page. So we refactored that out of the equation. The weight is not arrow function. No, we don't need it then. Oh, come on. What? 144. Oh. We have no function here to wait for, so we don't need it. So after a few seconds of the page loading, that data should pop on in. There's a SoundCloud. If SoundCloud data by episode, and we define SoundCloud data on ourselves, so we don't need to do this page. We can do this SoundCloud data. I think that might be okay. Rebuild. Oh, we have a little bit. We have a locked origins cross cloud functions cause policy. I think there's a simple way you can enable it. If I remember right, that there should be Firebase cause. Yeah, we need to enable that, and yeah, okay. So let's go over to our functions again. This one. We will bring in the cause program. npm install save cause. And we need to, inside of here, wrap our request with cause, and it's going to be a sync request response. Cut that out, and then pop one of these at the 2. I think that's how it goes. Oh, I think I broke it. That's that function, and that closes that. Yeah, I've got a bug on that somewhere. I'm not too sure where. Or I can do that. Does not allow the wildcard. That's a pain. Might be going a bit blind of where is that's closest off that and that closest off that. Yeah. Run. That one. And that one does that one. ES lints. SoundCloud function. So I want to make sure that that file is. So pause it. Can't use a wait. That way. Yeah, that was why. That's nasty. Oh well. That's how it automatically formatted. Deploy that. But back over to our slug. When cause does work, we'll have a request which will enable the play button after a couple seconds. And I want it to be near instantaneous. And it has to be unique for each user. For each request. Not impossible. That gets us our refactor part done. We can start removing some of this earlier code. I've got a whole bunch of other things here. I do want to refactor that. I'll do that another stream. Or another time. I'm totally sure. That stringify, yeah. Such a mess. All this code is a mess. It's got flat track list. Yeah, that really could have done with being separated out. Still deploying. But I'm getting pretty confident with this page doing what I expected. And of course, that's not an ideal endpoint, but it will work for now. And just want to make sure, once that deployment's finished, right down the bottom, when I hit refresh on the page, we don't get this request failed because of cause. It should work, and we should see a play button appear there. I might move it there while I'm here. Play content. That's a content there. move it there. Well, I can get rid of that debugging. Get rid of this debugging. And let's format it. Let's make it look pretty. Background black. Padding. Give it 3 for now, I think. Width. Yay! 32. Height. 32. Rounded. Full. Save that page. We need to put into the data equals sound cloud data is null. That. Not to worry about those links. They're fine. It's only when it's hot reloads. Well, that worked. Well, almost. We finished loading that piece of content, but our page did not get enhanced. Or did it? Oh, we didn't. The cause header still failed. And I think it's... Oh, that's well confusing now. Let's go over to our hopscotch, send out requests, and we should have some response headers. Send out requests to the right. We send out requests to the right place. We get a 500. Oh. Why? Why? Turn off the proxy and no. Fine, let's try another one. HTTP. Internal server error. That's no good. Check the logs again. Why were you internal server erroring? Origin undefined. That one, this one. Can't read origin of undefined. On what line? npm express cause. There must be just configuration errors. Simple usage. Firebase. Don't want to load up a whole Express application just for cause. That's not a very clear example. That's not the greatest example either. You do the thingio thing and then press the thing in there. So it's cause, boom. We've already done that. There, the origin. So we define the usually there is a repository of code with that. See, that's exactly. Wow. This is painful. Done exactly as expected. I've already enabled proxy. Access. Oh, allow. Allow. Does it need to be explicit? And that's triggered off a error in the log because it's triggered off a crash and can't read origin of undefined on the cause module. Even if we define it there, it's still going, nope, don't like that. No, not gonna allow it. There was some guy who said if we just set that without all this messing about, get rid of all this cause junk, and set the response header, and instead of redeploying every time, I'm going to serve it from local. And I think I have localhost. There. Oop. Grabbing that. Shove that into here, or onto a new line for now. And allow the page to refresh. And we've got a play button. It worked because we're on localhost and that's... What happens if we remove that? Does that trigger off our cause issue. Yeah, triggers off our cause issue. And someone did say in the chat that this worked perfectly in my case, and that was in 2019. Google Cloud Function does not allow wildcard. I think that's only if you need to add the authorization header. It needs to work. Okay. Okay. So fine. Cause has always been that annoyance of code, but we got there in the end. I want to open up a new tab because I want to continue local testing. City Firebase serve only functions on SoundCloud. Serve it. Do we have it? Yeah. Of course I want to fix that. Probably should have like a little icon in there. Oh, of course, it's not a bit too big. Too small. I'm going to Goldilocks this now. Just right-ish. Play icon SVG. I want the inner part of that. Maybe I'll just grab that and invert it. SVGO. SVG OMG. Drop it. Drop that into. See the joy in my face now. Boop, 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 beep. Don't need that. And I just want to class width. What should we do? Should we do 20? Height 20? Let's go for that and see how it renders into page. And to save us having to wait for it to load all the time, I'm going to disable that around. And background to text white. How's it go? The Tailwind CSS, we want fill current. And the contents is well big. But we're getting there. Flex, items, center, justify, center. I want to go 8 and 8. Getting there, really getting there. It's a lot of padding now, isn't it? Oh yeah, because I didn't change these. Let's 12. Make this the play button a little bit smaller, but I kind of like the sizing now. Okay, how about 5? That's looking good, but visually it needs to shift little bit. Once the margin left. Yes, it needed that 1 pixel. It just visually didn't look right. And margin top. Let's give it 4. Bit of space between that upper button. Yes. Now, if I bring that out, maybe I have a spinner while we're waiting for that data to come on in. It's going to change that, and then once we click on that, it's... But we're getting there. So, we refactored. No, I don't want to sort it. We're going to create a... We did 1 task and it took us 2 hours. I have a feeling the hosting side might be quite easy. That's not us. This is us. And we're going to... Nope, that's still not us. That's still not us. Yes. 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 And this will be recycle. Refactor SoundCloud to cloud function. Keep it lowercase. SoundCloud audio, because that's what deals with the audio. Let's commit that. Yay! And push that for the public repository. Don't need that. Feeling this might be relatively easy to export. So close all tabs to the right and get rid of that one, and get rid of this one, and get rid of this one. I'm going to go to hosting. I'm going to add another site. I'm going to call it Soulection Tracklists V4 for now. We want to deploy to that one. This I have over on my other screen another project which does automatically deploy to similar. So hosting, and we may have a few different outputs, targets. So target, and this will be that. I don't like that. I think there's ways on how we can change the target. So we go into here and say target. I want to change this to JSON. So you can view it better. And Soulection Tracklists. That's the end, the point to it. And we want to set up a hosting, and this will be the v4 target, and this will end up going to this output. Yeah, that's looks right. So then we can just do v4 here. I think that works. Looking at my other application, I think it does. Yeah, it does. And we need to say what public directory it's going to upload, and that should be the directory. EIR. No. Distro. Usually putting ignores. I don't even think that exclude will really work. Exclude, ignore. I'll just copy across from another project. Think and think. Easy. Now, I can close down that station server. I might need to do a before. Oh, yeah, it's ringing. Before deploy. Redeploy. Do I? Nah, I won't. I'll do it separate. So we have a npm run generate, which will generate the local files as much as it needs to. So this is going to build the entirety of the site and throw it into our distro. Yeah. Now, when... Okay, those errors should be fine. If I run it as a local, just simple web server, serve distro on port 5000, localhost 5000, there's the application. There's the entirety of it just ready and waiting for us. Which is great. So that's exactly what we wanted to do. So then when we run Firebase deploy hosting v4, it should take the contents of that distro and hoof it up to Firebase. Only want to deploy that. If that's the case, then we should see on our subdomain on version 4 it should be there. Uploading files. That was quick. That was much quicker than I was expecting. Follow this link. And there's our site. And give it a second or so. It will... Oh, remember when we were dealing with the page of episodes and we switched out the production with the local? That'll definitely cause... So it won't load. No response. Guess. Did this even work last time? Did we get this to properly work? It looks like it's properly working now. So I'm going to Nuxt npm run generate, or I'm going to run build and then npm run generate, and then run Firebase deploy only hosting v4. It's going to go through a whole bunch of things. It's going to build a site. It's going to generate all those pages. Then it's going to grab that directory and just hoof it up to Firebase, and then it's up here. So, hosting done. Add that in. that in. Yeah, my mistake. That's a temp file, so I won't do that. Hosting on Firebase. Oof. Oh. It's gone. Next, I knew that refactor would have taken a massive amount of energy, but it was totally worth it because we got now a better base to work from for future refactor in that area. We want to automatically deploy that when we ship. So let's work flows CI. YM. Definitely tell I've got one already on the side, so name Soulection E4 EI on push. And we're going to do it on branches, on the main branch. And we don't need to do any of that. So our jobs, got a CI job, runs on, should just simply run on Ubuntu latest. Think, hey. Name, continue the integration. And we've got steps. Each one of these steps will be a flow of things you need to do to get the codes and then like build the code and then deploy it. So we've got a checkout. So first of all, let's have the right piece of code. We can check out master of the branch. Then we want to set up a node because we've got it, and we'll use node 12 because that's what we're deploying to, so we'll keep within that same environment. Then we're going to deal with dependencies. So we're going to run the npm install. And we're going to build the app, so run npm run generate. And then we're going to deploy to Firebase. We need to change our target of Docker box to this Firebase action. So it's got a few things in there automatically pre-installed for us. And we need to define with, and the arguments which we're going to define is to deploy. It's just like what we did here, but it's deploy, and we only want to deploy our version 4 of the app. And we need to set the environment variable, which is the Firebase token. And this will be as a secrets. And knowing me, I'll probably expose that secret. Firebase token. And that should be all we need to do for that. But you remember we had continuous integration. Let's change this again. We'll do it web deployment. Yeah. We had our functions. And again, with the functions, we want to run it on Ubuntu because it's quick. We have steps in here. And again, with this, we need to check out the code and set up node. So we'll do that. And we want to npm install, but we need to change the working directory. I think it's a hyphenated, yeah, working directory. And this will be within functions, remember? We npm install in there. Boop. And then we can run the deploy, because you just need to install things and then deploy it, right? I don't even think we need to do the npm install. Just need to deploy it, and it's going to be functions. And in this case, we don't want to override things. We want to just do on SoundCloud, because it would not be great if every time I commit, this repository killed off another repository which pushes to the same endpoint. And oh yeah, I want to get this name functions, and I want to do a rocket in that as well. Come on, where's our rocket? Yeah. Oh yeah, functions D. Very interesting, huh? Now, this sometimes works perfectly first time, and I'm hoping today is one of those days, but it may not always. And I need to sort out this Firebase token on that particular repository, and I think I've already got it set up. So going to go to GitHub, we're going to go to v4 of the project, and we're going to well, this time we're going to put up the secrets, because I want to make sure I don't leak that. And in your console, whenever you I'll show this shortly. You do a Firebase login. I think it's CI. You run that command, and it'll ask you to log in, and it'll show you a CI token. And I don't want to reveal that, of course. So it's asking me to log into my Google account. Doing the allow, and then it says successful. And then in I can't show this bit because of course it's got a key in there. There. But once you've added on that key, you paste it'll show it in the terminal here, and you paste it into the secrets as a key defined, and then this secret stock that will pick it up, and it's not publicly viewable. That's how you do those. And now I should be able to deploy that. Is there anything else which needed to help? No, I don't think there's anything else. We're going to set this as, I usually use this as a configuration. GitHub Actions CI deployment. We can hit the deploy on that. Go over to the Actions table once this is uploaded. I'll hit refresh over here. Maybe not. Workflows. Doing something, yeah. So this should be, it's downloading those images. So Firebase action image, and checking out our code there. It's going to work through dependencies. So it's just doing npm install. And there is a way in how to make this quicker. I might even switch it to Yarn because I find that Yarn cache is a bit quicker on this, because 27 seconds is not great. We'll try to do our best with it. Yeah, 30 odd seconds to do the install, and still working on it. I even disable. There's some things I can disable. Now it's building the site. Run that at Nuxt generate. Shouldn't take too long because we haven't got a great massive site. And then it should hoof that up. You can see on the other side, Functions has already shipped that code. If we check out this. This should have gone up. Yeah. Oh, no. I think I got a typo in that. I think it was deploy sound functions SoundCloud. Functions. Yeah, there was a typo, and even in here it picked up wrong. On Unix, it's quite explicit, so you can see there. We'll do that, and I'll do a amend, and because it's CI stuff, I usually do a force push on that. That basically did not deploy anything because it doesn't know a function of that call because it's case sensitive. Fortunately, let's have a look at this Firebase. Did it deploy? Upload in, and yeah. Oh, I've already got a play show button. Does nothing. And that's not even the latest episode, I think. I think that's just a placeholder for now, as I was making that page. Does this do the thing which I was hoping it to do? I don't think it's worked. Remember, we spent a good while making that play button work, and I don't think that play button has finally worked on our deployment. And that's going to take some teetering to fix around. Let's move this up. Can I? I'm not too sure why it's not rendering that. I'll have to do some debugging with like the differences. But ultimately, yeah, I'm pretty. Probably because it's on server side. I don't know. Our second attempt, our functions should be going out okay. So I'm going to call automatic deploy success. And I did put on a stretch goal of unit testing the cloud functions. I'm not. Not today. Like it got on a bit. We're 2 hours and a half, 2 hours 20 minutes into this. Where we've gone, yeah, 2 hours 20 minutes onto the stream. We got quite a bit done though. I think the biggest things is we deployed to a staging environment at least. We've identified theoretically a bug with it loading server side. I wanted to do the SoundCloud button client side, but that's not fully working. So I need to do a bit of debugging with that. I'll probably do it locally, but I'm not too sure where to start with that. I'll probably just hack on that tomorrow off stream because I'm not too sure where. I'm not even sure that's gonna be entertaining. And I'm trying to think, next time we may look into those unit tests if I'm feeling confident with it. Alternatively, I think, is that right? Artwork, yeah. We'll be looking at I forgot what we'll be looking at. Probably giving the site a battle test with the full amount of data. Remember me saying we have over 19,000 of identified tracks and nearly 14,000 individual files. And I want to see, can Nuxt handle that sort of throughput? Otherwise, I'm going to have to try a different avenue about this. There's a lot of awesome, cool things which I've done, which improves the experience, which I've learnt along the way. And if we need to pivot, that's fine. And I'm okay. I'm completely okay with that. But I want to see can we battle it? Can it do what we need it to do in time? To give you a reference of like, it takes, I think, 3 minutes for the current site to deploy to AWS. We're currently deployed to AWS, and I think I have a side thing which deploys it to Firebase as well at the same time. Because I was looking at transitioning across. I wanted to do some testing before feeling comfortable about transitioning completely across. But I never really completed that work off. So both this is the Firebase version, and the live one is AWS. And I wanted to benchmark between the two, see which ones perform better. And I don't think I'd completed that work. I think we did a lot today. What do you think? We'll hang around and chat for a little while, and wanted to check. Both those deployments have gone out. It's fine. Oh, I clicked on the wrong one. Functions. Let's check. Yeah, that's a success. Successful operation. Oh, and check the timings. It takes two minutes, nearly 3 minutes to perform those. Each one of those web one. I think most of it is the dependencies, and I'll fix that off stream because we can do some caching around that. But that's pretty awesome. Cool. I'm going to start closing it down. As always, thank you very much for tuning in today. Hold me accountable for getting this project done. Yeah, it's always a joy to work on this project, and I'm trying to keep some interesting things, and we work through them together. It can be lengthy, but it's 2 hours per week. I try and make this project a reality, and having it deployed now on to its end state and automatically will update. Is even better. We're getting very, very close, guys. I'm getting pretty hopeful that we might actually hit the New Year marking, and that'd be super, super happy days for me. But we need to build up that confidence, make sure that the pages all load and the site works as good as or better than the current one. Otherwise, I won't ship. So, as always, thank you very much for tuning in today. It's been a right pleasure and joy. And remember, I'll hit this up 6 o'clock next week as well, where we continue to our very, very important work. Thanks again, guys. See you next time.